Aquarius, Aquarius sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Aquarius, starting today, February the 23rd, 2023. Going out to all you Aquarius. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Suzanne, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Diane. And thank you so much, moderators, and thank you, Aquarius and friends of Aquarius, for joining us for this 2-week reading. Today I'm reading with this beautiful Tarot Noir. I've already purified with this 300-year-old formula for eau de cologne. You can find out about both of those products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. This goes out to a lot of Aquarius, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, because people are watching it live and on a restream. So if it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, it may just not be meant for you. In that case, just disregard it and check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, which you can find restreams for all of those signs on my website, ariels-corner.com, arielscorner with a hyphen.com. We also have a general reading for all signs each and every day except for Monday right here on this YouTube channel. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga, paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. If you're watching live on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us on Twitch. You can watch our videos on Twitch without any ads by subscribing to us there. We have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. All of our merchandise is affiliate, and so we make a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support, but mostly what we appreciate, Aquarius, is that you're here with us today for this 2-week reading. I'm going to shuffle a couple more times here. And just as a reminder, I don't read with card reversals, so don't get taken aback when you see me flipping those cards right side up. It's just how I like to read. A lot of times I read with decks that you can't even reverse the cards, so I just stopped using them. All right, let's see what's in store for the gorgeousness and the fabulousness of all of you who are Aquarius, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. We've got the Death card, thank goodness. The Ace of Coins, yahoo. And the Four of Wands. Well, this is nice. It's about time. Aquarius, you were going so well, and then you started going off the rails for a couple readings there, and you are so on track. You're doing so well, because you're, and when I say off the rails, it was exactly what you needed. It was perfect for you, because stuff came up that needed to be dealt with that you weren't possibly dealing with, and everybody's different, but whatever it was, you dealt with it beautifully, and now it's gone. It's just gone. Whatever that stuff was, it's gone for good, never to return. You never have to deal with those particular problems again. They are over. So you did good. Now, your prize. You've got this beautiful Ace of Coins. So you're back on track. You know how you were doing so well with the money and the business and everything, and then it was just sort of like a little scary for many of you? It's not scary anymore. You're not only are you back on track, you're on a new track, on a better track, on an even more perfect track, especially for those of you who have been dealing with wanting to open up more financially, prosperity-wise. Those of you who are dealing with wanting to heal your body, or even have more health, even more than healing, even more health in your body. Those of you that have been wanting to really work on physical, tangible assets, practical things in your life, it's all happening, and it's happening in such a spiritual way. You know, so you're one of those people that kind of doesn't do things the way everybody else does it. So sometimes if somebody's looking at the way you're going about things objectively, they think, what the heck? That's never going to work. And luckily for you, you don't let that stuff bother you if you even catch a whiff that somebody thinks that what you're doing is weird or wrong. Because, and I don't even think, for most of you, it matters what people think, which is awesome. But they're wrong. Look at you. You knew exactly what you're doing, and you're right where you need to be, and it's so good. Now, I can't wait to open this up and see what else is going on with this, but this is just wonderful, Aquarius. I'm so thrilled and happy for you. Now, where you're headed on this on this path, especially that the path has been freed, has been cleared for you. The decks have been cleared. Things are clear. And so your way is clear. And what you're doing is so smart. You're still saying, yeah, but I got to finish up some tasks. I've got to finish things up. I want to make sure that everything's buttoned up. I don't want to leave things to chance. I want to get things in order. I want to make sure that I don't have a bunch of unfinished things. I want to go forward clear and clean. And that's smart. That's smart. And what you're finding and what you will find is that as you do that, that's a call to Jupiter when you do that. When you get things in order and you finish incomplete tasks, that's a call to Jupiter. And that Jupiter is an expansive energy that is expanding this wealth. So your wealth is going to be expanded through your work, obviously, but also through order in your work, getting things together, getting things in order, getting things in your work order, in order, finishing unfinished tasks, all that stuff that you're doing. All that stuff that you're doing, you're going to continue to do, and it's going to continue to grow and flourish. Oh, yes, this needed to die. We'll talk about that. Look at you, Mr. and Miss King of Coins. And then here's typical Aquarius, but we'll talk about that too. All right. So what was going on in the past that needed to come up was vestiges of some self-loathing on your part. You thought you had it all handled. But love brings up everything unlike itself so that it can be cleared. And you were facing very clearly some things that you had suppressed about yourself, some ideas that you had suppressed about yourself. And it's different for everybody what those ideas were and how they were cleared, but you had to confront them and kill them. And they're gone for good. They're gone for good. All of those old programs that you have to suffer in order to succeed, that you're guilty and you need punishment, all of that stuff that's just not true. You thought you had it handled, I think, before. And so some of you were maybe even a little glib about it. It's just like, oh yeah, poor people who think that. And then it was just like, it was confronting you and you had to face it. Many of you had to face your own self-loathing, your own negative thoughts about yourself. And it's a good thing that you did because, like I said, when you cleared those, it's gone. They really are gone. A lot of times people get stuck in the process machine. They love to process everything. It's just like, well, I've got more processing to do. I have to work on this and work. And they never get it fixed. They never get it taken care of. It's just work. And you're not doing that. It's gone. Whatever you, quote, processed, you processed it out. It's gone. It's done. So yay. All right. So look at where you are. King of Coins. That means the money mastery is here. And you do it your way, don't you? You do it your way. You don't do it everybody else's way. That's the way it's supposed to be. Your version of money mastery is your version of money mastery, Aquarius, and you don't need to worry about that anymore, and I don't think you are, because you're not doing that self-loathing. You're not doing that comparing of yourself to everybody all the time anymore. I think you're done with that, like, forever and ever. So that's why you're sitting high, because that's just where the universe wants you. That's the universe wants you happy and prosperous and free and unique, and you do you, right? Now, typical Aquarius, all of that, and then you look around and you're like, I think it really needs to be more. I think it's not quite good enough, right? But there's a positive side to this impatience with yourself. And it's the impatience not of an impetuous child. It's more the impatience of a scientist, right? The scientist is like, not until it's perfect. Not until it's perfect. I'm not going to accept that this is successful until I can test it and test it and test it and retest it. And then I'll make my report. Then I will tell my, whoever, my colleagues or my boss or whoever, that these experiments have proven that my hypothesis is correct, right? So that impatience has a positive side to it as long as you let it be positive. But if you let yourself get back into that ego stuff with it. It stops being the scientist that's retesting and retesting and retesting, and instead there's nothing that you start going back on this idea of nothing is good enough. It's not happening fast enough. What's wrong with me? How come I'm not farther along than I am? Don't let that happen, because you've already killed that. You've already done that. That's done. So don't just go back into old habits, because the grooves are easy to settle into. When you find this impatience in yourself, let it just be the impatience of a scientist. And it's not even impatience at that point. It's thoroughness. It's not accepting anything other than perfection from the experiment. But that doesn't mean that you want to do that to the extent with yourself that you're not good enough, that you think you're not good enough, right? So understanding the difference can sometimes be a little bit nebulous, but I don't think it will be for you, because I just think that you're too settled right now in the perfection of the moment. And you are, but the thing is this ending of these patterns is still fresh. So it can be easy to fall back into the groove, because that's what we do. We're creatures of habit, even you, Aquarius, even though you tend to be able to move out of patterns fairly well. So you just need to put that to the test. You need to put that to the test and say, I'm not going back there. I'm not falling back into old patterns. And when I feel like I'm being impatient with myself, I'm going to turn that around and just be instead relentless about whatever the experiment that I'm working on happens to be. And the experiment can be anything it is. It might be an experiment about prosperity. It might be an experiment about your business. It might be an experiment that you have about some sort of spiritual underworking that you're doing. Whatever it is, it's good that you don't accept anything from it other than perfection before you move on. That's a good thing. But that doesn't mean that you want to treat yourself like that. See the difference? The scientists might be relentless about testing every little aspect of it all before they think that they've proven their hypothesis correct. But that doesn't mean that they put that on themselves and say, I'm not good enough unless this happens, right? So allowing yourself to just be who you are, be the scientist that you are, and accept the fact that that you're right where you need to be, and that where you're headed is very prosperous, and I think a lot of your business or work or whatever it is that you're working on. Some of you it's job, some of you it's business, some of you it's creative work or scientific work or educational work, something like that. Whatever this thing that's your passion in life that you're getting in order, it's ready to expand. You want to let it expand, and if you start being hypercritical about yourself, turn that hypercriticalness to the tasks at hand. You know, if you're finishing unfinished tasks, rather than being critical of yourself as a person, instead, use that critical eye to make sure that that task is absolutely perfect, that there's nothing that you've overlooked. Having other people maybe even check your work, right? To use that critical eye for something good, rather than falling back on criticizing yourself as a soul. You're doing so well, Aquarius. This is amazing. This is not only are you back on track, but you've made a vertical ascent. You've played hopscotch with yourself, and you're farther ahead than you were before you were going through whatever this was. So good for you. And we will see you in 2 more weeks for another general reading. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Suzanne and Diane. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, Aquarius. Much, much love and many, many blessings.